we're going to talk about an artist by the name of Koya for Arts because they got caught tracing AI, and the way they got caught is wild. Okay, we'll just go into this. I'm going to show you their art in a different way because everything now of their pages, everything has been deactivated, gone. Okay, but this is an example of their artwork. You can see they make very chibi, very cutesy style art. They tend to feature this red panda character a lot in their artwork. So here is an example of their art. Another example of their art, the red panda with a frog. Another red panda kind of like frolicking through some mushroom forest. They also do chibi art as well. So if you look at their artwork, you know, their artwork has like a very chibi-esque style. But if you ever have seen AI chibi art, their artwork looks pretty similar. Here are some examples of AI generation for red panda chibis. Now, don't go generate this stuff on your own. This is already what Google pulled up. I'm only showing you this as an example to what people were saying about their artwork. Because people were basically saying that their art resembles the AI chibi style a lot. And this is what the AI chibi style looks like, roughly. Again, we have to take into account the fact that with chibi art, whatever, like any art in general, AI steals from human artists. So there is obviously a chance, a likelihood that a person actually made the artwork and AI stole from them, and then there's nothing you could do about it. One way that I could explain it is there was a Pokemon art contest where the artist was accused of using AI, but it's because the AI actually trained off the artist's work. So do you feel like that? So I do want us to take that into account. Now, let's take a look at some videos of their art. We have here posted by Throw Away a Table or something like that. And the video is titled More Evidence That Koya for Art might be using AI. I'm gonna mute it. But basically, OP is stating that they have inconsistencies in their art style where some pieces do kind of look like they were drawn by a person. They have errors that were made, whatever. Whereas other pieces that they've made looks really clean, really good. And it's kind of like, oh, the inconsistency is kind of odd. So we can see here, and they have a screen recording of their page. So this is what their Instagram page looked like, obviously, before being gone. This is an example of their artwork. They made a piece by Mimikyu, another piece that they've made. So this is a red panda-esque piece. They made some boba artwork. And what OP was also pointing out is the fact that in their old artwork, they tend to use a lot of this like shine. You can see here, this bear also has that sort of like shine highlighting detailing. And then for all the red panda pieces, or almost all of them, they basically have a very different art style. That shine is completely gone. The way they render is very differently. And again, look, people can change their art style. Just because you used to draw with like a heavy highlight and you suddenly don't, doesn't mean you used AI. But it's just suspicious that it's mainly only the red panda pieces that kind of have that, because you can see here, it reappears again. So that's what OP was saying. Here we have another person by the name of Paw Girl Mimi who posted this video that says Koya for art doesn't trace AI in quotes. So one is the hands being wonky. The fingers are most definitely very wonky here. Again, if we give benefit of doubt, potentially some people, artists, you know, everybody messes up hands. That's totally normal. If you trace AI, you might not have any knowledge of how hands are supposed to look like, and you heavily rely on tracing AI. So therefore, when AI draws hands all fucked up, you will too, because you were tracing. Here we have another piece where again, the hand looks really wonky. As in, this finger and the thumb are really close together. Again, we could give benefit of doubt. Maybe they're just bad with drawing hands, right? Let's continue looking at their other art. They also do these human chibi styles. And here, one thing they're indicating that could be traced AI is the odd neck, as in the line art. It probably is really thick here, but really thin here. This one, I would say, is pretty... Again, kind of benefit of doubt, you know, people draw with different varying line weights. Here we have the red panda again, more indication that it's traced AI. So a lot of people were feeling like it was traced AI. You could argue it's circumstantial. It's kind of like this looks a bit suspicious, but maybe benefit of doubt, right? There's more because, oh boy, a bunch of people then started calling Koya out, making example videos on how it could have been traced. So here we have a TikTok user by the name of Crispy Taters. The caption reads, how do those AI tracing videos look to an artist? Now, you can kind of see the meme is that, oh, they drew a sketch so that it looks normal enough because, oh, look, I made a sketch and now I'm drawing based off of the sketch. So of course I didn't trace any AI because, yeah, I made a sketch. Yeah, I just did some line art, of course. Right? And this video is kind of memeing on that. This is what makes it suspicious. They're kind of blocking in everything. And this is Koya's art process. Now, obviously, this is not Koya's video, but before Koya deleted their videos, which I should have saved, man, but I was traveling, so I was busy. They draw like this. So they will draw like a cutout of where the shadow should be, and then they would color the cutout in afterwards. with the shadow, which some people do draw like that. You rarely find people draw like that though. Very, very, very rare. Not impossible though. Here we have another video by TikTok user floppy 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 flop 0. Caption, proof that Koya for arts uses AI. And here, okay, I think I probably should have showed this video first, but this is an example of Koya's old speed paints. Did we see that? We can back this up. Look at how they draw in the eyes and the mouth. If you were to draw like that, where it's like an outline, you would have to redo it over and over and over again, no? Like, you don't get it perfectly on the first try. You might get lucky and a couple of elements, like maybe one eye is perfect on the first try, you get lucky with that. Not everything. Like, look at how they draw the mouth. How do they even do the frog sketch? They draw an oval and then immediately everything else of the frog is just perfect. Now, some people might argue, oh, it's a chibi style, so it's like simpler to draw. Personally, as somebody who does draw the chibi style, you do gotta redo it a couple times. You know, you might get lucky first attempt for like a face, but I don't know. Not like everything. I think this is interesting. You see how they draw the handle for the umbrella? It kind of looks like they traced initially to draw the umbrella handle and then realized, wait, it doesn't look right, and they had to redo it. So here's a new speed paint that they made, okay? Look at the speed paint. They draw in a sketch, then they do another sketch to like fake it. For some reason, they raised the sketch up a little bit, but didn't raise the original sketch. And then, wait, I'm so confused as to what's happening here. They made a sketch, and then another sketch, and then they made a third sketch that looks really different from the first two, but closer to how the AI art piece would look like. And then they refined the sketch again. Dude, nobody sketches like this. Like, normally when you sketch, you like refine the sketch afterwards, but you can still see the essence of the original sketch. This looks like they drew 4 different sketches slightly on top of each other in slightly different locations. And then suddenly the face becomes super different again. The caption reads, they know how to draw, they just choose to fake the AI ones as their own. No hate to this person, they're clearly insecure about their art and resort to faking that they draw AI images so that they can feel better about their own art. And then here is another user. This is Party Shrimp talking about this, where the video caption reads, yes, this is AI, just not the way you think. Here you can see some more examples of Koya's artwork. Again, bottom left, we have that red panda walking through the mushrooms. But as you can see, some of the pieces look quite suspicious, especially this dog one looks very AI. So Party Shrimp writes, I'll be using Koya's art in quotes because it's a great example. So here we have the wedding piece with the red panda and a panda. At first glance, this looks exactly like AI. But when you look closer, it looks human. The line art is wobbly and the colors make sense. As you can see here again, yeah, some of the line art isn't quite even, right? They have thin line art here, it gets a little thicker here. The caption reads, it's still AI. I pulled this image from Google and I'm gonna show you how I think Koya does this. It's easy to trace over the drawing and then add in a sketch layer when people ask for proof. Where I think they fool people though is with the coloring. Some AI tracers actually have a bit of skill they use when getting their coloring stage. That and the clean line art is what makes people confused. They can use this for proof by showing speed paints and layers. And here we have examples of some art layers. What makes the deception harder to spot is because a human is actively checking for indicators that it's AI and removing them. So some indications it's AI is the really yellowy tint. If you guys don't know, a lot of AI generated pieces make the art very yellow. Weird hair, strange body proportions. Whereas with the faked hand-drawn piece, you can change elements to make it look more normal. Like, you know, not picking a lot of yellow colors, for instance, altering hands so that you add 1 extra finger. This hand has 4, but you can draw in 5 fingers. So other things to look for are composition, misconstrued line perspectives, hands, and eyes. And they add, thanks for reading, guys. AI is bad. We have the nail in the coffin, guys. If you were skeptical up until this point, let's take a look at this. So from my knowledge, and I could be wrong because they've wiped everything, they had a VGen where they were offering commissions to draw a chibi version of you. And this is a speed paint they uploaded of an art piece. Don't send hate to the person. They likely had absolutely no idea. Whoa, 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 guys. What was that? What was this that we just saw here? And the caption reads, quote, Koya doesn't trace over AI images, end quote. And also this was posted by ShareBB. What is that in the background? Could this be an AI image they were tracing that they forgot to edit out of their speed paint? Oh boy. So if you were skeptical up until this point, they were caught red-handed by tracing AI with the piece in their speed paint. And as a result, on VGen, they were suspended for violating VGen's terms and policies. They've deactivated across the board on all of their social media pages. This one is honestly so wild because they tried everything under the sun to make it look like they legitimately drew their pieces. They tried everything. They tried faking the speed paints. They mixed it in with their actual artwork so that maybe you get a little confused, etc. And that's the end of that. Don't send hate to them. It's just absolutely wild that this situation, very up for debate up until this point, led to this conclusion. And the saddest part at the end of the day is the fact that Koya can draw. They clearly have pieces they've made legitimately. If you scrolled all the way back on down their account, you can see those pieces. They can draw. They have the talent to do so. They still, for some reason, resorted to AI, which is just asinine. It's one thing if you absolutely lack the talent to do so. That's still not excusable in my opinion. But the fact that you can do it and you just chose not to is even more asinine. What are your thoughts with the whole Koya situation? Honestly, getting caught because you toggled on the AI layer you were tracing is wild. Anyways, if you like this video, I appreciate it. If you like it, subscribe. Don't forget to check me on Etsy. I sell digital art over there. And I also have a Ko-fi with free resources for streamers and creators. And I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. So hope to catch you guys there or in another video.